back to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. We are ready with the map, Peter. Let's have a quick look at it again before we jump into the agent selection screen. Sorry for the hiccups earlier, but we have fixed those. We are back, and yeah, Breeze, Ascent, followed by Haven for those who missed out. Going to be a very interesting three maps, as I'm not too sure how Force One's gonna play Breeze. I'm very interested to see this match. In fact, I'm really excited because Breeze, it's a weird map, but
True.
that's what makes it fun to watch. You hate to
Mm.
play it, but you love to watch it.
Honestly, and you either find a strategy that you stick with or you gotta improvise on the spot. And Breeze is the kind of map that allows you to do exactly that because you don't have a lot of walls. You can honestly just have a raw aim battle, and some people do exactly that, but it all depends upon whether Force One is planning on doing that. And I kind of lost my train of thought the last time that I was talking about this, and I had like something to say, and I really don't know what I was talking about. But the fact of the matter still remains: Breeze and Force One being, picking the map of Breeze. I feel like they're gonna be a little more confident on it. But you may never know, right? These underdog teams, they may come up in surprises, and Reckoning, they might do just that.
Absolutely, they might just have a strat in the back pocket for Ascent that we haven't
Mm.
seen yet. Maybe there's a breach in the mix. You never
Mm.
know. Ascent could be one of those maps where you really don't expect certain forms of initiators to come through. Maybe we'll see a KO as well. Who knows?
Ooh.
Who knows? That could also be in the mix. But we don't have to speculate any further because we are about to jump into the agent selection screen and see what these guys are going to pick up with our own eyes. So. Yeah, right off the bat, Enigma picking up the two information agents in the SOA and the Cypher. Nothing new there. Pretty standard stuff. Meanwhile, the side of Reckoning has pretty much picked up their entire roster,
Hmm.
except for Panzer, who I believe is going to be playing that controller.
The Viper.
Ewan
Yep.
playing the SOA and Bondef on the Sky, with JN playing that Jet.
True, and honestly, Breeze is kind of like a Viper and Sky Happy map because yeah, you have those flashes that are very versatile, and you have the walls of the Viper that are very flexible, and you can like span it across the entire map, and it really kind of creates your own unique map. Like you have Breeze, it's kind of like a blank slate, and you use Viper to make it your own, and you play around that. And Viper is very crucial to that. And Scargod hasn't picked his pick yet, and I'm pretty sure we all know what he's going to be going for. He's really good with the Viper, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be going for that. Just waiting it out, I guess. But yeah, these are pretty regular picks, and especially Reckoning, they've gone for the most default Breeze pick that I know. And on the side of Force One, we have Night Rider picking up that Sage,
Choose
which
your
is
agent.
again a pick that comes in quite often, and they're not going to be going in for duelists at all, which is really
Hey,
okay. Never mind.
We got debated.
Mm,
It's the
mm,
good old Night Rider debate. However, it was Sage last pick. Jet, troll your team. Who cares? But no, yeah, you really need a Jet for this map, and I'm glad that Night Rider
true.
picked it up. Just playing without a single duelist, it could be a little bit difficult.
Mm.
A lot of people just tend to fall into that trap of picking up too many duelists, but clearly not the side of Force One or the side of Reckoning. And yeah, with that out of the way, gonna be a very interesting match. I'm curious to see what they pull off. The Viper picks are definitely there. It's gonna be It's gonna be a battle of the Vipers. It's gonna be a battle of the Ciphers as well. So let's jump straight in the game and see what it's made of as we head into Reckoning, going up against the side of Force One. Lower bracket match. Whoever loses out this BO3 is gonna be sent packing home. Nothing more for them here in the lower bracket playoffs. They're done for.
Yep. And like, yeah, Night Rider, he's just starting things off with a little bit of festivities. He's just like, you know what? Let's troll the casters a little bit. Let's troll the viewers a little bit. And he really gave us a little bit of a jump start. I mean, Sage is not that bad of a pick, but that would really mean that Scargod would have to go for a duelist, and it's really good without Viper, yeah. And yeah, it's good that he did go for the Viper because that'll be really crucial for the entire game. And off the bat, we're gonna be seeing just passive gameplay. No crazy rushes anywhere. Yeah, it's a pistol round. Yeah, you have a little bit to, play around with. You don't have to worry about losing a lot of stuff because it's just the first round. But it is kind of like an impactful round. But here comes the impact. Scargod pushes in, gets a kill. That might be the round-changing kill too, because that might be follow-up kills, and there it is. Rafa comes in, gets the follow-up kill, and before you know it, it's just two players facing up against the entirety of Force One.
Spike planted.
Absolutely, I mean, that Viper wall really helping them out get on site, and it leaves only JN and Panzer with the retake, but Juin is going to be strong for one. Still a 2v4 though, not the easiest of fights, but Panzer, if he can work his magic here with the
Last
Viper wall
player
down,
standing.
he should really end up working out. Juin gets another before he gets taken out, but Rafa on the flank. He's gonna make sure that there are no more further casualties as the side of Force One, they take the first round.
And since they've taken the first round, you know what's gonna be coming out? Those specters, and it's just gonna go brr. They're gonna push up in A side again. I'm gonna presume, and if it's gonna be a B push, it could come into advantage for them because they don't have a Sage to block their B entry off. So B side may not be that bad of a push. The only reason why I don't prefer B in my takes personally is because of Sage. If there's ever a Sage, B is almost impossible to take. Yes, you can get your information with Cypher, you can put your traps down, but that wall is very crucial.
Absolutely. Well, it's gonna be good for them if they approach this one cautiously as Knight Rider. Good for one, gets treated out. The Spectre given over to Bondef, who
Deploying.
is gonna try and make something happen with it. Now he's not in a good position. Juven is all the way alone on the side, holding out on that recon dot as the outspots mount.
Shot
This is
dart.
attack for some reason.
Standing ahead.
Doesn't need the shot. That's still alive for the time being. Healthy as heck, but Trapper comes in
Player
and cleans
standing.
up. Scargod's gonna be there as well, leaving Bondef in a 1v4. I had the Spectre for it, but yeah, couldn't really do all that much with it after that first kill. Got traded out. And with that first buy round, it is underway. Should be seeing the side of Force One play this one out as a bonus. They lost a couple of players, so I expect 2 Vandals, and yep, it is going to be 2 Vandals coming up for them. 3 Phantoms over for the side of Reckoning, and 2 Vandals on Juven and Bondef. So pretty straightforward round. No money for the operators just yet, but I do imagine that Nitro is going to try and save up some money for it eventually. Just the first buy round that needs to be secured.
Cage triggered.
Gonna throw 2 Cypher Cages towards mid, trying to fake a mid to doors sneak of some sort, but they're not biting just yet. It's gonna leave them paranoid, and it's gonna put 3 people up here to burst this A area, but there's no load coming in elsewhere. There's gonna be 2 players moving up from the home base towards TU. Knight Rider, he's found the opening on JM. This is what you needed. With this opening, could make something happen. Scargot is going to try and open up that door. Come in for the pinch. His Panther's going to bite the dust, but Scargot will be there for the
One
trade.
dead.
Juven not taken out, but
Last
Triss is
player
still here.
standing.
But Chivy will get that kill, leaving 1 player alive from the side of Reckoning. It's going to be Bondef in a 1v2. And
Spike
he
planted.
didn't buy shields, just going for the naked Vandal and utility.
mean-
Slightly concerning here.
It is concerning, but you gotta understand this. Bondef's aim is immaculate, and he looks pretty confident today. Or it might also be a little bit of overconfidence, and if that is the case, then I don't really think he's gonna be winning this round out. But I have high hopes for him, and it's gonna be a matter of seconds before he either dies or gets both in one fell swoop. They're not watching each other's back, and he catches them off guard, and he could get both of them, but no, he gets one, and the other one was it just eludes him. He could have had no idea where he was placed. So really, that round was never going to be going to him, but he put up a valiant effort, and kudos to Bonda for that. But that does mean that it is going to be the 3rd round going to Force One, and they really, I mean, Reckoning really have to get their games up because, yeah, it's kind of an attacker-sided map, and yes, you could argue with me that they could start bringing it back on the attack, but it's going to be a long and hard grind.
Oh yeah, I mean, the defense really needs to be strong. It's a little bit weird. Unfortunately, it seems that one of their players is gone AFK for a bit. I think that might be REK. Gonna have a small pause coming up. But the first buy round, very important win here for the side of Force One. It's gonna allow them to build up that momentum and make sure that, you know, this attacking half, it really, you know, sets them up for a solid defense.
True.
Breeze defense, it can get a little tricky, and once the enemy team has momentum, it's really hard to shut them down when you think about it, because this map, it's huge. There's so many openings, there's so many ways you can collapse onto a site, you know, with multiple ways to go about every single, you know, entrance. You just gotta be on your toes the entire time as a defense. You really can't afford to have a passive playstyle on this map. It really tests how good you are on that defense.
Yeah, and since it's such a big map, you cannot really spread your resources out that much. Yes, you want to cover more ground to get more information, but you kind of have to go for those information agents to get the information for you. Otherwise, you are going to be stuck in fights against entire teams. And since the entirety of A side is super, super big and has really wide entrances, that one side is the side that, you know, attackers prefer to hit often, and that's exactly what is happening. And it's just such a big opening. I really think, at least these are my 2 cents, I feel like most people in the defense, they should be reallocating their resources more towards A, maybe putting like 4 players up on A just to hold the fort down, and maybe 1 informational agent, and that could be Cypher on the map on the side of B just to get the information and relay it to his friends back at home on the side of A. And a retake could be possible because it's not that hard to can't say not that hard, but it still would be possible. And I really think they should be allocating more resources to the side of A.
Scout destroyed.
Well, you can see
Here.
that this time around, side of the Force One are taking a much slower approach, just feeling out the defense. Panzer spots are 1, but no, that wasn't actually Panzer. I think it was Knight Rider with the Marshall. JN with the shot, he just dashes it and gets the kill. Panzer finds Knight Rider too. All of a sudden, this round turns on its head, and it's going to be down to Rafa to try and bring it back towards A, where Triss is holding the corner with the Sheriff. Doesn't really know where he is because Bondev was there to try and eat up that wolf. And oh my god, that might have actually given him a false sense of security. He's still sitting there in the corner behind the Viper wall. Nice flash that comes in, but Triss is going to miss a shot. And that's going to give Skargård and Rafa the opening they needed to equalize the score, bring it back to a 3v3. But there is a Vandal available. The Jet, maybe something can happen here if you decide of Reckoning. It's not going to be easy though. Trying to pitch them across the map, but look at RVK's position. He's all the way towards mid. Skargård's going to find JN. And boy, I don't think RVK's going to be able to do much from his position. Well, it's going to leave Juven alone. Looks like he wasn't needed after all.
Enemy down.
Mid. Juven finds one, but yeah, it's just a consolation frag at this point.
Yeah. And honestly, you can't do much at this point, and he is going to get pushed, and it's a really risky move to like stay over here, and there you go. There's a risk that I was talking about. He's going to be taken out by Rafa. He honestly could have just like taken the Vandal a little earlier and not tried to get a few exit frags, but you know, that consolation frag wasn't really necessary, but still, you can win some, you lose some, it's fine. But the defense, it has to be tightened up a little bit. They have to allocate a little more towards A side, or at least leave somebody playing towards, you know, mid, so that the rotate could come in a little bit quicker. Instead of that, they're opting to go for 2 players on the side of B, in spite of the entire Cypher traps, the Cypher cages being there, and he can always just fall back at any given moment.
Absolutely. Well, with 4 rounds on board for the side of Force One, they're going to continue to try momentum works, but JN is going to pick off Skargård, a very important take right off the bat as JN is going to be forced away thanks to those sky flashes. The cage is also going to help a little bit. Soa on the try and get that jet pick. The first shot misses, but no, he's actually managed to find Bondev somehow shooting with the ult. And Panzer has also been tagged up. A doable 4v4 now to the side of Force One. RVK is lurking around the corner, is going to be able to find Trist. And with that, a 4v3 situation created. JN scurrying all the way back towards the B site. But they have tunnels control and they also have balcony. Not going to be an easy push into tunnels, but Shivy, as well as Rafa, are going to be there to try and force JN off of this position. The recon dart has also come through, but look at that, Rafa! Quick on the trigger is going to be able to find the kill. Shivy gets Panzer, and this leaves just 1 player on the side of Reckoning as Juven in a very uncomfortable 1v3. Rafa cleans up 0 to 5 now in favor of Force One. Force One just completely demolishing the side of Reckoning.
Honestly, I feel like there's a little bit of, you know, synchronization lack on the side of Reckoning, and it's either that they're you either should be pushing like really far in and taking risky chances, or you should be playing really passively, but they're staying somewhere between. And normally, yeah, the in-between way is the best way to go, but on the map of Breeze, considering the number of variables, you can't really do that. You can't like fall back to your, you know, comfort zone. You have to really think outside of the box.
I mean, really good executions coming out here from the side of Force One. I mean,
Yeah.
Even if they lose their player, they adjusted very well. Unfortunately, the Cypher on the side of Reckoning did end up biting the dust somehow, and that gave them the chance that they needed.
Right here.
But Juven spotted out 1. And there's going to be a couple of markers coming out here along with the knives available on JN. Let's see if they can find some picks. Seeker's going to be committed on the A side, and that will prompt them to retreat for the bit. You know, just try and fall back and make their way towards B instead. That's a lot of information that they have, and you can see RVK scouting, just waiting to capitalize on that information. But Trist, what a beautiful opportunity for this man to cut off the rotations that are going to be coming in. But no, he's not looking the other way. He has someone else doing that for him. Shivy is going to be able to take out Bondev, but Trist is still here sitting in the corner, huddled up. RVK is going to find Panzer in this lurk. The space is reinforcing his team. That snake one is also going to come in the nick of time. I mean, Triss, he's found to, but that's all he could really do before Shivy Shockshot got the better of it. Once again, 6-0 for the side of Force One.
Yeesh, the information doesn't seem to be going out much from the side of Reckoning, is it? It's just like they get the info, they're acting on it, but they're not acting together, and you kind of have to use your utilities a little bit in your, own team's favor. You have to like use it to help your other teammates, and yeah, they are doing it, but not as much as they should be against a team like Force One. And Force One, they're going to be hitting hard, and when they're pushing in onto a site, they're not going to be letting anything stop them.
Absolutely. This time around, though, you'll see what the side of Force One have been doing differently, because they've shown a lot of their hand. They have shown what they like to do on this map, and maybe this time around they need to go for a much more different approach. And I like this patience coming in towards A main, just making sure that Knight Rider gets into a good position, but that operator just picks up anybody who's a little too curious towards A main. Could give them the potential that they need to try and bust this A side open, while RVK was on the lurk towards B. Doesn't really find anyone, doesn't really see anything.
Cage triggers.
Nice
No more
Cypher
charges
Cage
left.
lineup that actually enables him to clear out that left side instead. And you can see him clearing out mid doors as well, trying to get some information for his team. Any morsel of information will do, as Pondef right below Scargod towards Tubes. Just a single tripwire protecting them, but they could still open the door and make a move on A, which might be what they're doing with that recon. That it doesn't spot out Trist, but 3 people gathered outside here. That flash gives them a false sense of security. Trist had a real opportunity, but doesn't end up landing his shot. The shock darts force him off that position. His camera taken down. It's gonna have to be him, but he's distracted. The door opens from Scargod, and Shivy takes him out. Bondef's gonna be good for one, but the trades come through from Shivy and Knight Rider, leaving them in a 4v2. RVK on the lurk, doesn't really see anyone coming in from mid. Good disciplined approach coming in from Reckoning. Will give them a timing to try and take this 2v3, but they still are in a disadvantageous position. Knight Rider misses the first shot, but the information is out. They know where Panzer is, and Rafa, what not privy to that, is going to be taken out by Juwin. RVK, though, comes in with the lurk, saves his team in the nick of time, leaving Juwin in a 1v3. That is nigh impossible.
But he's still gonna give it a shot, though. He's not gonna save his gun, and he gets one, he gets a second. He's gonna be going in for the final, and it's gonna be Knight Rider, but it's a really hard take because it's Knight Rider with an op, and he's gonna be showing us why everybody should be worried about Knight Rider having an operator.
Oh boy, I mean, we talked about this match being a little bit close, but it's 7-0 now with absolutely nothing on the board here for the side of Reckoning. That means even if they win every single round starting here, they're still going to be in the red when they go towards the attacking side. They're going to have to win the pistol to try and take this map back.
Bro, and speaking of the attacking side, if they don't even get a singular round now, it's just going to go to like 12-0, and that's not a pretty situation, and I'm pretty sure Reckoning Esports don't want to find themselves in that situation, and they're not being able to understand what's happening. And when you can't really understand how the attackers are going to be attacking in your side, I feel like it's a better idea, kind of like a fail-safe, and you've seen this in many other tactical shooters. Just go in for a push. Yeah, you're defending, yes, I know, and it may not work out for you, but if you see that your opponents are always hitting the side of A, you can always gather your teammates on the side of B, push through, clear out each area one by one. You become the attackers, and honestly, before you know it, the hunter becomes the hunted.
Yeah, absolutely. But pushing out on that defense is a very risky proposition. But seeing that so far nothing has worked for them, unless they've talked about what has been going wrong for them on this defense, unless they know and they can pinpoint that, I really don't see any other option. Trist, look at his buy. He's going for a bit of a Hail Mary with the Judge. And yeah, on this map, the Judge, it can be a really big hit or miss. I mean, this is saying something about where he's going to play. Interesting position coming out for him, but everyone else towards B from the side of Force One as they completely change up the plays. Not a single player in towards that B side. They're all just going to try and go in for the retake, or rather, the backstab. Bondef, he is here. I'm not sure if RVK is going to expect that. Gets caught off guard as Bondef finds him. But Scargod has the ulti at the ready. Bondef also finds Shivy. This could be very doable here. I think he also got some damage over to the planter there. Scargod gets whittled down to 93 points of life. Still alive. It's going to be a hard retake coming in for the side of RGE. They have to enter that Viper's pit. And right there, you can see that he is waiting for them. Rafa still over here, gets spotted out. But they're not finding the kills. That Viper's pit proving to be a bit too dangerous. They find 3 kills, making it a 2v2. Scargod's going to get healed back up. With that Sky heal, Scargod is also gonna find Panzer as he's just moving and lurking around that Viper's pit, putting them in an uncomfortable spot. Bondef looking to just, stick the defuse, is gonna be found by Scargod eventually. And there you go, that's the round done and dusted. Ah, boy, 8-0. This is getting
Yep.
rather painful here for the side of Reckoning.
True it is. And look at that. ScarGod is back up to that 10-5 KD. And this is exactly what we were talking about. Him playing that Viper and those, controller agents is really working out well for him. The Astra, the Viper, he really knows how to use his stuff. And whenever he pops a Viper spit, I kind of tend to always say that, yeah, this round, it's going to be going to Force 1. And so it did. It seemed like Reckoning, they were getting a little bit of a head start. They got a few kills in, and they could have really gone in for that retake, but they kind of botched it up towards the middle with that Viper spit. They should have gone in together. And Rafa, even with that aggressive, stance, he still didn't get traded out. And JN with a beautiful one kill on Knight Rider and a dash back. Honestly, his aim is true right now, but it has to be consistent. If it's not going to be consistent, it's not going to matter much at all. And they've decided to go in for a push, and it's working out for them. Triss gets a kill on ScarGod. The Viper is going to be down. It's going to, be putting up a lot of hits to the side of Force 1. It's not going to be good for them. Juven picks up another kill, and Bondef chimes in, brings it down to just one player, and it's going to be Rafa. We know how good his aim is, but is that going to be enough to save him this round? I think not, because he does not even have the spike in his possession, and he has to go in and recover it, and it's going to be guarded by that Sova over there. And yeah, the gun's being given away, and Juven is just basically waiting for that head to pop in, and once it does, he's going to be shooting to kill.
Well, the timeout had certainly helped them, but one can't help but question, was it too little too late? They win this round, but all it's really done is broken the camel's back, because their economy is not going to be in a very good spot. Thankfully, all 5 of their players survived this time around, so they are going to be able to buy up the next round if they lose this one, but at this point, they really cannot afford to give up a single round.
Right.
I wonder if, the side of Reckoning, they just decide to, just keep buying time and time again just to get those rounds up on board and make their offense a little easier.
Not the wisest of choices, but yeah, like you said, it brings to mind that old saying, they've won the battle, but they're probably going to be losing the war, Floki.
Yeah, and look at Bondef this time around, very, very aggressive towards Tube. He might just be able to find a couple of kills and not expecting this at all. Bondef gets one free, throws out the Seekers, and Shivy, oh no, gets blinded by that. Is going to have to back up all the way. So they've gotten the information that there's at least one player outside halls, and with that pick, this leaves the side of Force 1 in a very uncomfortable 4v5. But Knight Rider, the wonder kid with the operator, might just still be able to make something happen if he finds an opening, but it's going to be a little bit difficult.
True, but I still like the fact that Bondef decided to fall back when he did, because he didn't over-aggress, and that over-aggression could have meant fatal. I thought that he was going to put his utilities up and push in, but speaking of utilities, look at the Hunter's Fury coming in. Does do a lot of damage, but not enough to get a confirmed kill. It's going to be a risky push, this one. But the kills are coming in from both sides, and it's an even Stevens battle, and it's already a 2v2 situation, Floki. Yes, ScarGod is really showing his stuff, isn't he? 4K! He's gonna be going in for the ace right now, Floki, and I hope he gets it, and he does not get it. My bad. I really thought that he was gonna be getting it, but no, Shivy just stole it clean.
Yeah, he tagged him up. Shivy, I think, just got the last hit on that.
That
was insane coming out by ScarGod.
Honestly, his presence of mind.
Speaking him at once. I mean, look at that. Shot missed, instant punish, I mean, this man just on a roll since the playoffs have started. He's just been so hungry, and you can clearly see that Force 1, they're here to play. They want that title. They want to win the championship.
He's been on the grind.
Happy just being the kings of the lower bracket. They want to go all the way.
Exactly, and I feel like they might, because the first map, that's probably going to be giving them the confidence to go in with the second map as well. And look at this, 1-9 scoreline. That's not something that Reckoning wants to be finding themselves in, and in spite of that, they're still going for aggressive pushes, and it's not working out for them. They're being taken out clean one by one by Force 1. Yes, JN gets one kill on Rafa, but it's not going to be enough, because there are still 3 players from the side of Force 1 remaining, and nobody knows where they're going to be hitting. Look at that Knight Rider. He's already found his way back into the back end of Reckoning, and they have no idea where he's going to be hitting from next. And Knight Rider picks up the second kill for himself, and it's all to Panzer to pick up the slack for his teammates, and it's a 1v3. Can't really do much, and RBK, the flanker, as always, gets the information, and he's going to be pulling mind games right now. He has to figure out from which side Panzer is going to be peeking out. He has a fair bit of idea, and the Viper's wall to help him out. He knows where Panzer is. ScarGod does too. It depends on who's going to be getting the first kill, but no, RBK! Oh, you did him dirty. Oh, no.
Yeah, they're toying with their food, and then there's RBK. Just going around disrespecting his opponents like that. 10-2
Yeah.
for the side of Force 1 though, so maybe he's trying to make a point, you know, maybe there really is no respect to be given here to the side of Reckoning, at least on the
Ouch.
defensive half. As, yeah, not, I mean, you know, not to mince words yet, they are getting stomped.
True.
I mean,
No,
they could potentially make a comeback here. You know, they could potentially win this round out. That could give them a bit of a breather, but that would mean they have to win the pistol on attack. And I'm quite sure they want to find themselves in that spot. A very desperate play coming out here from the side of Reckoning. The dash comes in, but it's instantly punished by Scargon and Knight Rider. Oh boy, they find 2 picks in the A side is completely open. It's all going to be down to Tris to try and hold this one. Well, Dow got taken out, so he's still in a good spot to try and make this happen. But Rafa was ready for it.
I mean, you can see the desperation in their playstyle right now. They're just pushing in insanely without even giving it a second thought. And RBK being cheeky yet again. I hope he doesn't go for a knife, and he actually might, but no. He's not going to let that Ultron give away any information from his teammate side. And Panzer, poor Panzer. He has just one gun, a little bit of life left, and a lot of will to live. He tries, but he can't really do much because Force 1, they're just too much of a force for Reckoning to honestly deal with. But RBK, he's just having fun out there on the field right now.
Absolutely, it's like a tiger, you know, just circling around a deer who's limping and clearly can't walk anymore. And yeah, he just loves toying around with his food.
True, and that tap in the chest on the round before the last, and he's like, hey, by the way, I'm right here if you didn't know. So at the moment his opponent turns at him, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But just mind games from RBK right now.
Absolutely, and look at the top of the scoreboard there. He actually caught that. That was Scargod on top with 16 kills. Not Knight Rider, not Rafa, not Shivy. It's actually the man himself. You know, Scargod just on that controller, just being so potent here on the map of Breeze. Well, let's see what's gonna happen now as 2 players proceeding up towards Duke. Shivy, the single person guarding it. Double shot down for him, but he misses. And Knight Rider gets to read and gets taken out as well. Tris is gonna be able to find him. Panzer finds Shivy, and all of a sudden, the defense, it collapses. Just RBK towards mid to try and stop this push. Good ding on one, looking to find the kill, but can't follow it up. Ewan's gonna find him. Tris is also gonna take out Scargon, leaving Rafa in an uncomfortable 1v5. For one, but Ewan cleans him up, and that's it. This pistol goes the way of Reckoning. Buys them oxygen. It gives them a little bit more leeway, but for how long?
For how long, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if they do start getting rounds right now, I feel like it's just unfortunate that they started on the wrong side. If they did start on the attack side, they might have. If they started on the the attack side, they might have fared better. They might have gotten more rounds on the board, and they would have had a lot more confidence. But right now, their confidence is going to be lacking a lot because it's 2-11, and they don't have a lot of breathing room. And any mistake they made is going to be paid in full because the 12th round is going to be coming in at the match point at that.
Absolutely. Cheyenne leading the charge this time around, confident as ever, but Knight Rider has a Marshall. His position has not been spanned just yet. No scope headshot by him, straight to JN's dome. Tris is going to be there for the trade though, but still a 4v4 situation. And on perfect side control, they're open to being spammed by these Claskins. Argon holding the corner. Not spotted just yet. Fans is going to be able to take out Rafa though. Make life a little bit easier. RDK, good shots to the chest. Shimmy gets 2 somehow with the classic. Finds himself in a 1v2, but gets beat before he can retrieve the Spectre and make any more damage happen. Good round coming in for the side of Force 1, just looking to do some damage. Gonna force them to buy out 3 extra rifles as their own buy comes through.
Good round indeed, and I think it's kind of coming true. I feel like they're just more comfy on the attack side, and for Reckoning Esports, it's just bad luck, you guys, that you did get a...
It's 2 rounds. Come on, buddy. Come on.
But still,
you gotta
okay.
be realistic here.
It still goes to show a little bit. The amount of performance they're putting out on the attack side is way better than what they were being able to do on the defense. And Breeze is kind of a hard map to master the defense side of things.
Yeah, I mean, that I can accept. You know, they are already doing twice as better as they were on defense. A bit of a mad joke there, so if you guys found it. But Knight Rider gets spotted out a little bit early on by the tracking that, as well as the owl drone. So tagging him up. But that is interesting. They're actually looking up towards B mid, trying to catch Rafa off guard. Rafa might not see this one coming just yet. He is trying to retreat. The Jet still holding though. And Rafa getting a bit curious towards B. Gonna stick his head out and see what's there. If he's lucky, he'll walk back out with it. Alive! Knight Rider catches Panzer napping and finds the kill. The timing just not all that good. Scargod still jumping, sees Jane, and that's gonna prompt the snake bite in that position, gonna prevent them from pushing up. Can't even get the orb if they want to. As I think he has a good idea about what's coming. Twist still lurking though, trying to cut off anyone coming in from the window. No presence towards A, and that flash is going to tell them everything they need to know, but Rafa gets taken down. 4v4 situation, Scargod finds one. That cloud burst protecting him, but June gets in with the shock dart. As everyone from the side of Force 1 will be revealed, thanks to Twist's ultimate. Shock darts coming in from Jimmy, doesn't really catch anyone off guard, and if he's not careful, could have got taken out there. Gonna owl towards side to try and find some information. RBK with the Spectre almost got the kill, but Trist quicker on the trigger, survives with 20 HP, leaving Shivy in a 1v3. Good choose to save the Vandalier, would not be a bad call at all.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he's gonna be doing, but honestly, Reckoning, I don't think they're gonna be taking chances anymore. I don't think they're gonna be overextending because they know how far behind they are. They're gonna be taking every opportunity they can get, and Force 1, they're not going to be giving them that opportunity. Shivy, however, he's still kind of hopeful. He still wants those kills, but he does manage to catch one off guard, but he was scoped in. Couldn't get that spray in, and the information has already been given out, and he's not going to be finding any heads right now. But Trist, you're so low on HP. You really shouldn't be doing this, man. Oh, okay. That was just a taunt. He goes out there. He's going like, just so you know, I'm right here, but you can't touch this.
He most certainly can't, but for the time being, seems that Reckoning can't touch Force 1 either. Still a big round difference that they need to catch up to. Although, we are aware the Force 1 curse. We all know what happened, you know, 12-2 to overtime. Didn't end well for them. And I'm thinking Force 1 should stem the bleeding anytime now. The defense is a little bit harder, but Knight Rider, oh boy, very difficult. JN will be able to get that pick, get inside. No highlight reels for us today. Scargod with the Sheriff, can't do much to stop them. As he has been walled off with the Viper. He's going to be holding out for the time being, waiting for the to come in. REK on the look. Get a single bullet to the chest, but that's it. Scargod also looking to make a difference. Can't do all that much. Shivy with the Marshal also gets taken out. Good stuff for Reckoning. All 5 players alive. Economy building. This is the momentum they need if they want to come back in this game.
Exactly.
The only issue is a single round given up means overtime.
It's just gonna be a cascading waterfall downwards, isn't it?
Yeah, it most certainly is, and
I mean, they've got 5-11 on the scorecards. 5-11 is not that bad of a score line, but it's still far off, like you said, and they really can't afford to make even a singular mistake, because yes, you have 2 rounds left, you have the 12th round that might come in, but you can't really be playing for that, because any time that your economy is going to be dropping, it's just game over for Reckoning.
Well, this time around they've got the operator, so they can make a big difference in this round. If Knight Rider manages to find that first big Rafa gets revealed, does manage to tag that Viper really low. Gonna try and flash and scare Panther off. The heal's gonna be there coming in from Sky, or rather Bonder from the side of Reckoning themselves, but you can see only Trist lurking towards B. 4 players stacked up outside A. 3 approaching A main. They're gonna try and play off the Wolf there. And Knight Rider, sees the Wolf, instantly takes it out. That's the operator being put out of commission. Nice cloud bursts coming in, and looks like Knight Rider is going to be spotted. Dashes away back towards safety though. Still scaring them with his gun. RBK though hasn't been spotted just yet. Still holding the cord. Knight Rider finds one, and Rafa finds the second. Knight Rider finding the third. All of a sudden, Reckoning's offense, it collapses. It has no legs left to be standing on as Trist very hopeful on this lurk, but it's going to be a hard one to pull off, my friend. They might be aware about your positioning at this point.
And well, it looks like Knight Rider just caught on to whatever you were saying, and he was like, left. Yeah, you mean no highlight clips? Yeah, what about this? And he basically gives us one. But yeah, that does mean that there is no options left for Reckoning Esports. They can get 1 round maybe, but... And that round is also not going to be coming through. Knight Rider picks up the 3rd kill, and that's going to be putting the 12th round onto the board for the side of Force 1, which also means the match point has come into play. And like I said, the confidence had already been broken. Reckoning had already gotten a broken confidence, and now that the 12th round is coming into play, they cannot afford to make even a singular mistake. And their economy, it's not that great, but they still have enough for getting a buy-in, and this is their like one last shot, their one last Hail Mary. If this doesn't work out for them, it's game over, and they honestly had to play for the second map. I really hope that they're prepared for the second one, though.
Yeah, I'm guessing Ascent is going to probably look a lot different, but we just have to wait and watch. I guess at this point, it's not about if, it's about when for the side of Force One. When are they going to be able to win this match? How many more rounds can Reckoning bleed out of them before they finally throw in the towel?
I've got
That
your
could be
trail.
a lot. Night Rider! Oh my god, that is such a crucial pill. He think he finds on Panzer. Gets revealed, but that's okay. Trade being set up for the look, but Chivy's gonna be there to get the trade. Blinded by the Seekers, but still alive for the time being as RVK provides both. And Chivy, he's managed to pick up JN as well. Still alive, 150 points of life. Nothing really to push him out of the position. Bondev has snuck in over here in the corner there, but has been spotted out. There you see the shotguns are going to start pouring in. Bondev is eventually going to have to peek out as Chivy cleans him up. There's going to be Ewan at 8 HP, gets cleaned up, and that's it. The towel has been thrown. Reckoning Esports, they're not going to be able to take this game off of Force One, as Force One just demolished them 13-5. Ah boy, it hurts even saying it. An 8-round difference, just 11-1 on their offense. Their offense looking absolutely ridiculous. Reckoning did well to stop the bleeding, but they really couldn't do all that much. I mean, they got 4 rounds, and then they needed a little bit more wiggle room before they could start putting up some more rounds again on the board. Didn't have that.
Honestly, I'm gonna be the glass half full guy, and 13-5 is still better than 13-1, right? So
Yeah.
Reckoning Esports, they still give it a shot, and I could say that Breeze is not maybe their favorite map, and yeah, I would be right for a lot of those teams out there, because not a lot of teams tend to put a lot of practice into the map of Breeze. You kind of have to, in case of teams like Force One is coming in and putting the wild card down there. There's Enigma too. They just put the wild card down, and they're like, you know what? You're gonna be playing on Breeze, and I don't care how good you are. I mean, I don't care how bad you are, but you're gonna be playing on Breeze. That's exactly what happened to the side of Reckoning Esports, but considering the fact that they went for an Ascent pick, which is kind of the normal pick for like most of the teams out there, I really hope that they have this stuff together. And that is going to be more of an even playing ground, because most teams know their stuff on the map of Ascent. And I feel like it could be an overtime, or it depends upon the luck, or it depends upon the momentum of Reckoning Esports. If they manage to let their momentum slip a little bit, Force One will start climbing up that ladder, and it's going to be a clean 2-0. Or if it's not, then we're going to be seeing the third map. But I am kind of leaning over towards a 2-0. But anyway, enough about that. The match highlights, I'm sure, are ready, and we are itching to walk you through whatever you've seen so far.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you, Floki?
I absolutely am. I want to see what went wrong here for the side of Reckoning big time. I mean, I can imagine them losing the first buy round and, things just going bad off of that.
Yeah.
But, you have to take the time to compose yourself and talk to each other. I feel like that timeout was a bit too late. They should have probably taken it after they lost that second buy of theirs, probably somewhere around 5-0 itself. Just talk about what's happening. Just talk about what's going on. I mean, that's like the worst case scenario. Usually you should take a timeout in, like the second buy round right away, before the second buy round, to just try and talk about what has been happening, what they're likely to do. Just completely catch them off guard with their momentum. But it didn't happen. A lot of these rounds, Reckoning could have actually won. They were super close. But in the end, Force One just somehow playing around that utility, and Scargod being a complete beast enabled them to win rounds that they probably should not have won otherwise. I mean, like this round, just Scargod just pops off 4 kills, right? They were in a very bad spot here, the side of Force One, but Scargod manages to pull it back. I mean, that's literally it, and it's on the back of these small individual mistakes. RVK, the whole game, he was just toying with his food. I mean, you can look at this. It's a 2v2 situation. He's still thinking about a way to humiliate the guy, but eventually settles for the kill and the ult. So, Chevy can be set up, who is already on the site. And,
true.
I mean, I just don't have much else to say. I feel like Reckoning just really blew this one. It just slipped right out of their fingers.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to say it, I have to agree with you. They kind of blew this one, and I'm still hopeful that they're going to be picking it up on the second map of the day. But here's the thing. I feel like when they were losing their communication, they were losing their synchronization, I was feeling like it was more of a thing to do with them not, having a lot of practice with the map, so they didn't really know how to go about, the executes, how to go about the retakes, and it was all in the moment. It was all about Reckoning Esports communicating with each other in the middle of the match and going like, yeah, we should probably do this, we should probably do this, and it was kind of like a practice session more than a proper match, and it's fine, it happens, but you just really have to pick up the pace from up there.
Yeah. Well, the scoreboard is up and running. And on top of it is not a man that you would expect from the side of Force One. It's Skargod. Skargod, just an absolute beast on this map. Knight Rider with the operator doesn't even come close. He has 16 with 231 average combat score. You know, just Skargod a notch above. 268 combat score. Just really, really, really strong overall. And this is a player who's playing that controller. He's not playing the initiator. He's not playing anything really that allows him to function like a duelist. And still, he just manages to amaze us all with his incredible lane. Shivy also with 17 kills. Just doing God's work, trading out his teammates, you know,
Yep.
being the clutch master when needed. And yeah, just overall solid play coming in from Force One. Over on the other side, the MVP also goes to Juven, who has 17 kills, but the rest of the team not doing all that well.
Yeah, and I just feel like it's a map related issue, and I've seen Bondef popping off. I know what this guy can do, and I'm expecting better things from him. I just feel like once your confidence is broken, and especially considering the way that it was playing, I kind of feel like his sensitivity is like, you know, on the higher end. And when you start getting nervous and you know your opponents are kind of getting the better of you, you kind of get that shaky aim. And I saw a lot of that happening on Bondef. And you really have to put your foot down, get your confidence back together, and, you know, grab that mouse and just, you know, go at it. And Ascent should give them that, you know, confidence, because I feel like it's going to be more, they're going to feel more at home.
Absolutely. But before we go to Ascent, we are going to be cutting to a short break. And while we do that, you can check the links down in the description below in case you have any hardware needs. WD Black, AMD Ryzen, Radeon, LG Ultragear, they've all got you covered. You know, you've got yourself display, you've got yourself storage, you've got yourself a processor. Also, make sure to scan the QR code when it does pop up so you can get yourself a Red Bull to enjoy this match. And with that said, we're going to be coming back after a short break. We're going to be bringing back Ascent and the match between Reckoning versus Force One. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. My name is Loki, with me is Quain. Scan the QR code to get your Red Bull, and with that said, let's just jump straight into the map veto. Let's have a look at which map is going to be played next in case you missed out on it. Well, for those who were curious, it is going to be Ascent. Ascent followed up by Haven if the side of Force 1 drop the ball on this map and giving away this map to Reckoning. And I do say it in that particular way because Force 1 has a very, very strong Ascent. We've seen them demolish teams in the past on this map. And yeah, I think today it could pretty much be the same thing all over again, unless Reckoning pulls something out of the bag that we haven't seen. Maybe a KO here, a breach there. I don't know, something could be in the mix. Maybe even a Viper or Brimstone to surprise us all, or maybe even an Omen. I mean,
True.
I'm really letting my imagination run loose here, Quaint, but I want you to tell me what you think is going to be picked here for the side of Reckoning on this map.
Honestly, there's no telling because these two teams, they're kind of like wild cards. Yeah, for Force 1, you could probably go for those default picks, but Reckoning, we may never know. They might pull something just completely insane. Like you said, they might even pull off a Yoru, and it's so rare that you get to see a Yoru play. And yes, I feel like he's kind of underrated because you can like make a lot of plays, especially in maps like Ascent, just strategic plays where you get deep behind enemy lines and you don't even let them know about it. But we shall see in a few moments anyway. But here's the thing. Ascent is kind of like a good map for Force 1 too. They've played a lot of games on Ascent and they barely ever falter. So I really hope that Reckoning is ready to, ascend to the occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see how Ascent plays out, though. I mean, if there was going to be a Yoru, then I'm going to be super surprised. I just don't think that Agent is in a good spot right now. His utility seems very, very underwhelming. I mean, in fact, two of his abilities, the fake out and the teleport, they are just not that great. There really aren't a lot of good uses for it. I mean, sure, you can maybe get a little creative with it, but Yoru is one of those few duelists that actually prefers to lurk just a little bit more than the other one. Knowing that the lurk on Force One is usually Ariki, I don't think that's going to
Yeah.
happen. But let's jump straight into the agent selection and see what they're going to be picking up for themselves. And we don't have to use too much of our heads to see what's going to happen. Reckoning have already picked their entire roster: a Phoenix for Bondef and a Jet for JN. No Reyna here whatsoever. Pans is going to be playing that Astra to help them out with those smokes, and you've got Juin and Trist picking up that Sova and that Killjoy respectively. Now,
Yeah,
Knight
and
Rider is hovering over the KO, but it's not going to happen. Let me
yeah,
just put it
obviously.
that way. He's going to go for that Jet, much needed agent on this map. And should be a pretty straightforward match. But the important difference is that you have a Raze on the side of Force One and you have a Phoenix over on the side of Reckoning. This Phoenix has looked good, but I don't really know how he plays that defense.
Okay, so here's the thing. Normally, I wouldn't condemn the pickup of a Raze, but I wouldn't really prefer it either. But knowing how Rafa likes to play Raze, I really am not gonna object against it because I'm pretty sure he can pull off wonders. But here's the thing, that's not gonna be our main issue, is it? Because Kargod, he's having a good day. I'm pretty sure he can live up to the occasion. But Reckoning Esports, they have a lot to prove, and it's gonna be, always that thorn poking into their backs. They're gonna be like, yeah, we have to get this round, we have to get this round, and that desperation, if it's just gonna leak in through to their gameplay style, I don't think it's good news for them.
Absolutely. I mean, they might just seem a little bit desperate to get the lead early on, because if the side of Force One does end up winning the pistol, they could find them in that same mental spot again. But we don't have to speculate too long. The game is live. Let's just jump straight in and see what happens. This is going to be Force One versus Reckoning, with Reckoning fighting for their lives here. They end up losing out this map. They are done for. They are going to be eliminated from the playoffs with whatever position they're going to find themselves in as a result of this loss. And Force One, they will continue their advance in this lower bracket. And right off the bat, well, I see a Killjoy as well as a Soa up towards B coming in here from the side of Force One as Shivy waits patiently, but might be a little bit disappointed because there's just going to be Bondef playing behind the hut while that Jet ends up moving forward. It's going to be JN looking to find that opening. Two quick smokes to just block it off. The door is going to be broken, and look at that. Trist comes in and gets that kill on Knight Rider to start things off. Great stuff coming out from then, as everyone else is going to back off. Well,
And okay.
Right. That's going to be unfortunate. Bondef gets that kill onto Ariki, as Ariki was able to find one. Still an advantageous position here for the side of Reckoning, as they are in a 4v3. But pretty easy to do all that much. Bondef is just going to make it even harder as he manages to find Rafa. Gonna beat all down to Scargord. Does manage to tag a Panzer, but it's a classic, so he doesn't do all that much. The Killjoy started timing out at the worst possible time. Shivy just gets hit once.
Spike planted.
And honestly, I have faith in Shivy. He is kind of like the clutch god in my eyes, and his strategic moves are really, really good. But 1v3 is a really hard and a tall task. JN already is in position, and he's probably aiming for Shivy's head, and Shivy knows that. He's just not going to be risking it. It might be the first round, but he still doesn't want to be risking it right now. Not really sure what he's planning on doing, but he's given out a little bit of audio notification anyway. They know exactly where he is. It all depends upon whether he can pick up those kills, and if they're going to be coming one by one, he still will be able to get up a few kills for himself. But is that going to be enough? They're still giving him 1v1s, and finally at the right time, Trist and his buddy over there are going to be peeking out at the right time. Trist and JN peek out and take out the opposition, and that means that the first round is going to be going for Reckoning, and it's a completely different start as to like what we saw on the previous map, on the map of Breeze. And that is kind of a good omen for Reckoning, but I hope that omen is going to be lasting. They have their Spectres in their hands now, and they really, really shouldn't be losing it.
Don't disagree with you there. Good stuff coming in from the side of Reckoning as they take that first round away. Pistols up and running. And JN is going to be able to find Scargord to start things off. But Nightman is going to find a quick return, and that's the spike being spotted out here. You know what's going to happen now. Someone from their side is going to have to retreat that spike as Trist taking a little bit of contact towards B main, but then backing off as Rafa is going to get spotted. Quickly being put out of his misery. His antics not going to last all that long as Stress found him. And again, a 4v3 situation here for the side of Force One. They're just going to look to do a little bit of damage. Oh no, please don't tell me Panzer's AFK. Please don't tell me Panzer concede.
That doesn't look good to me. I feel like he has a Nightrider. He's onto the right spot, but he doesn't have the right gun. Jan, that Spectre is going to be getting that kill, but
Spike down.
Bondef, he's just going to be, you know what, going like, you know what, I don't want you to go down to the hands of those wretched Force One guys. I'm just going to kill you myself. And I don't know if that was a wise choice. Maybe if he survived, he would still have had his, you know, but then he needed the economy too, so probably why he went for that kill. But here's the thing, they still won out that round.
Yeah, absolutely. Poor Panzer just DC'd with the spike on him and prompted Bondef to just... I'm not even sure what that counts as. Friendly fire.
Do they get money? Do they not?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't get any kill.
That's
Panzer.
okay.
There you go. That's the DC. Gonna be pausing and waiting for just a little bit until he comes back up online. But Force One, they get their first buy up and running. I wonder what the defense is gonna look like this time around. So far, I see Shivy as well as the Killjoy up here towards the B side. So I'm assuming they're gonna be the ones to lock this area down. It's gonna be RVK along with him, while Scargod, as well as Nightrider and Rafa handle A and mid.
For all I know, Panzer might have gotten an Amazon delivery, and he's like, you know what, guys, I'll just be right back. Just gonna sort this out real quick. Probably.
Absolutely.
Highly possible. Happens at the most insane times. I mean, I think I've seen Venom, that happening to Venom once too. I think it was in a tournament, and he just goes up and like, you know what, hold up for a second. I'm pretty sure, I think it was like the casters going like, yeah, he's having some network issues, but yeah, it was just him going out to get some milk and coming right back. So it could be the same case with Panzer.
Well, usually that milk story doesn't end all that well, but I'm glad Venom came back.
Yeah, I mean, it gives us a little bit more conversation, doesn't it? It could be anything. But here's, yeah. But here's the thing, though. Yes, the defense does have their first full buy in, but Bond, he's still holding on to that Phantom, so that could be making a hell of a lot of difference. And if he does manage to like frag out, like I know him for doing, it's gonna be that much better for him. And Ascent, off the bat, it seems like it's working out way better for them. They know what they have to do. They're going in as a unit. They're going in as a team. They're using their utilities. They're not being as confused as they were on the map of Breeze. And that is going to be paying off dividends.
Absolutely. And you can see Panzer, he's back on the server. We should be up and running in just a bit. No movement from him just yet, but yeah, he should be. Oh, there you go. Does a little bit of
he's
nice
resuscitated.
And he is here. Yep, he should be going live with the round real quick, as the call to unpause is given on the all chat, just asking if they're ready for the unpause. No response here from the side of Force One just yet, but I'm guessing it should be up and running soon enough. No operator right away in the third round. This is something that Nightrider is done quite often. You know, while most Jets, they tend to save up 800 creds on the first round, just go naked classic and nothing else. Just try to get that operator. Regardless of the situation he finds himself in, Nightrider is a little bit more selfless than that. He likes to pick up the rifle, he likes to get the Vandal or the Phantom, and you know, instead help his team out by being a little bit more active on the map instead of just going for the operator, which can be super risky, of course, in the third round because they are very prone to rushing you and you know, taking those close range engagements. So Nightrider likes a decision coming in from him. Well, Shivy, the shot does to start things off. I think Nightrider might have been spotted off that recon. No, he hasn't. He's backed off his safety. And Scargod takes a little bit of damage, but he's still okay for the time being. Just spamming and crossing his T's and dotting his I's there. They do manage to claim the orb outside, and they also know that there's a Killjoy turret waiting for them there. Scargod instead being baited out by JN over here, who is spamming his course, but he knows what's up. He knows it's just a setup for Panzer to come in and swoop in for the kill, as Scargod also playing around the corner there, just being a bit more mischievous. 4 players outside A main, though. In fact, the entirety of Reckoning outside A main. Scargod see this coming. The Algo is going to be used. Nice recon dart coming through. Doesn't get spotted by it just yet. And Shivy is clearing out a shot. Should give him an idea. He knows that there's a Jet, an Astra as well. There's a Phoenix and a Raze now, and
You
well,
should run.
not a Raze, but rather Killjoy there. Well, Dart is gonna be popped. The lockdown is through. Nothing to really take it out there. They're gonna have to give up side of play from here. Scargod gonna find himself there. Bondef flashing himself in. No one really being DJing, but JL with the ghost is actually gonna find one and take up Rafa. But Knight Rider and Chibi are there. They're holding the site down.
A.
Locking it and make sure no one gets in. Ju is desperate to get the spike up and running with 12 seconds remaining. Gets cleaned up by Shivy. Shivy, the MVP of this round. That's Force One put their first one up on board. A little bit of damage done here by the side of Reckoning, but it's nothing that the side of Force One can't recover.
True.
Just gonna have to drop two rifles and they're good to go.
But it's kind of funny if you think about it. Like in the first two rounds, you saw these two teams go at it at a very similar playstyle, but for two very different reasons. They were both rushing at each other. Firstly, it was Reckoning because of their desperation and they just wanted to get a few rounds in. And then on the side of, Force One, I saw a little bit of overconfidence coming in from them. They are playing a little more passive right now. And the third round is way more different. And the fourth round is probably going to be just the same. But here's the thing. It was so long for Reckoning to just stand there and give away that information, and that is exactly what Force One needed to capitalize on that. And look at that. Yet again, it's an equal frag, it's an equal trade-off coming on from both teams, but that information has still been given out. There is a lurk in the form of Killjoy and another Killjoy on B site. So they probably are going to be going, facing off against each other, and that Jet is probably going to be facing up against that Killjoy in a few moments. Knight Rider might have to face adversity, and it all depends upon who's going to be seeing who out first. And yet again, it's Reckoning Esports taking a lot of time, and they're just chilling there on A main, and that's not a wise choice, because once the information comes in, the rotates are going to be coming in super fast from the side of Force One, and they're going to be stopped dead in their tracks. And here's the counter rush. The first information is going to be taken by the Phoenix, but nobody notices Rafa. He gets that kill on Phoenix, and he's going to get the knife, I guess. But no, he tries to go for it, but instead he's just going to get the regular one def kill. Puts it down to two players on the side of the attackers, and there's only so much they can do. They were just taking too much time, and they're going to be hunted down like trapped and caged animals right now. Knight Rider is toying with his prey right now. 1v3 situation. Chris had to put off a few kills. The information given out by RVK means that he's going to be picking up one kill at least, but he doesn't have a lot of time, Floki. He has to put off those 2 kills, otherwise he's going to be going down, and he knows that. And he goes in for the kill, but Rafa is right there holding just the right angle, just the right corner to take him down.
Yeah, great stuff coming in here from the side of Force One. Once again, as that looked like it was going to be a successful offense. They did lose Scargod right off the bat, and they had Bondef's ult to help them try and take the site. But even then, great patience coming in from Knight Rider there. Just, Rafa there. He was just waiting for them to cross. He didn't get spotted. Goes for the Sova kill instead. Gets that Phoenix for free, and Bondef realized what was happening just a bit too late.
Bit too late. Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly why Force One is getting their rounds back. 2-2, and it's even Stevens right now, but I feel like they're going to be putting up a lot more rounds here on out unless Reckoning change up their playstyle, and that's exactly what they've done. Chris comes in for B main, gets a beautiful one tap on Knight Rider, and that must be shocking for Knight Rider, and he's going to be like going, huh? What just happened? And that momentum has to keep continuing from the side of Reckoning, or else they're going to be losing this round out too. But no, the momentum is falling apart. RVK and Shivian picked up two kills for themselves. And the population for Reckoning have already dropped down to 2 players. However, Panzer, he's still hopeful, still gets 1 kill. And he also has Javen to, take care of his back. But the spike is lost deep inside Floki. And I don't think this is a possible take.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to have to circle back around from B main, but as... RVK just waiting for them in the wing, just waiting for them to fall into his trap. And great crossfire coming in as well. I mean, not really a crossfire, but playing off of each other here. Rafa is going to be the one.
Last player standing.
Looks like he's also going to be the one getting the kill. Ju down. Panzer is there. Oh, Panzer almost getting the trade. Spots out Chibi, but Chibi is quicker with the Spectre. Finds that kill, upgrades to a rifle, and that's all you need. Force One. They put a 3rd round on board for themselves, but now there is a buy available for Reckoning. They can look to even out the score. 3-2 so far, doing a lot better already than their last map, but probably don't want to let the side of Force One run away with their defense on Ascent.
Yeah, they're playing it out a bit too passively for my liking. Don't you think it's a bit too passive for them? And they should be, their executes are good, but they're not timing it well. They're not going in at the right time.
I'm not too sure. I mean, I feel like that last round was a bit of an eco zone. Not really fair.
Not the last one. The ones
but-
before that even. Like they just wait too long in A lobby, and look at that. They're doing the exact same thing. That's
I
gonna give
mean-
out all the information.
Yeah, I mean, that can be a little bit problematic if you played it super slow, but sometimes it can work out. It relies on you giving out some information, though. So far, they haven't really spotted anyone just yet. Good smokes come in. It prevents them from just walking into A scot-free, as the Owl Drone's going to spot out Scargod towards the back of side. They're going to try and look towards the end there. What? What in the hell? How did Jayan die to a rocket that was aimed directly at his feet? And even better, Rafa makes it out with not a scratch. Ah, boy, that...
You gotta give it to Rafa and his race plays. You gotta.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I didn't think that Showstopper would actually kill him. Damage, sure, but that kill was ridiculous. Well, Panda's gonna set up a bit of a fake towards B. Nice smokes coming in. Is gonna take one back and pop the other. There you go. They seem to be aware about what's happening. Ju is gonna be able to stabilize in the nick of time to get that kill, but cost him a lot of HP as a result. As they're gonna double fake this one out and go
30
back
seconds
towards
left.
mid. Take their way towards B instead, but RVK is waiting for them. And the Killjoy ult comes through to prevent them from walking into sight. Shivy just doing his bit, spamming across the smoke, throwing out shock darts. RVK got the one. The lockdown is going to be destroyed, and Shivy holding back. Patience is the name of the game. You want to chill. Nice ult coming in from Shivy. Is going to be able to get the kill on Panzer. Panzer stuck. Stuck the ground.
Last player
June is
standing.
also going to be spotted. Scargod takes him out, and it's all down to Bondef all by himself. Single flash to play with. 3 players to go up against. If he gets 1 kill, he gets the hot hands back. That could give him a little bit of breathing room. The Owl does not spot him. Lands the second one. Has the hot hands ready. Hears some noise towards the other side and drops the hot hands to buy himself some time. Nice flash coming in, but Shivy, what? Despite being blind, manages to get Bondef as Bondef gets completely robbed. Oh boy, that round. Shivy giving us a masterclass on how to play against Flash heroes.
Shivy giving us shivers yet again, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he turned it around at just the right moment. He saw that flash coming in, but that presence of mind was just immaculate. He knew how to turn around. He turned around at the right time, and sadly, it was Bondef who had to pay the price for it. He really thought that the flash was proper, and if he did connect his first few shots, he could have gotten the last kill in also as well. But just lacking just a little bit. He's not having the best of days, and it still was a nice attempt though. But that does mean that it's 4-2 on the scorecards, and they've lost their momentum yet again.
Oh yeah. The spike plan does mean that they are going to be able to get another buy up, but Knight Rider right away with the updraft manages to pick off the Killjoy, and RVK just looking to add some more previous hurt. Oh, spots out one, dinks June in the head. There's no way Dude can get his HP back. That means there's going to be that 5 or 1 HP scenario for him, whatever that is. Yeah, I think he's literally down to 1 HP. I only saw them buying up light shields. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, even a Weapon Classic would kill him at this point, as I like to say. Jewett knows how fragile his body is. It's gonna back up for the time being. JN spots out RVK napping. That actually gives them control of the B site. The door is gonna make sure nothing comes in from
Standing
B.
ahead.
Nice recon. It's gonna reveal anyone playing towards site. There's absolutely no one. Just gonna make sure you're a boathouse. Panzer holding the corner there, but Scargod was aware. Gets that kill. And Knight Rider with the nicest found Jen as well. Now a 2v4 situation. And Jewett is not healthy at all. He is literally struggling over here. And Bondef holding that area. Gets 1 kill to start things off and has to run it back. Is gonna pop it to try and create some space. Gets killed down. And he's done. Shivy gets the double. Knight Rider found the opening pick. 5-2 in favor of Force 1. Reckoning losing a little bit of momentum here.
It is over.
Nice attempt, but it just didn't work out in their favor. It was, you know, down to a 2v4, but they were really close to making it out alive. On top of that, like, it was honestly up to Juven to pull something off, but there's only so much you can do when you're at 1 HP, right? He tried, he gave it his all, and the ultimate had already been popped. The run it back had already been popped by then, and there was only so much he could do. He tried to get a kill, that didn't work out for him. Juven tried to get a kill, that didn't work out for him. And obviously, when that run it back is gonna run out, your life is gonna as well. And that's exactly what happens. 5-2, and I honestly thought that they would be able to take it back. They did take a lot of initial damage, but they were playing mind games, and they were playing it really well, but just not enough to go up against Force 1, I guess.
Yeah, okay, that recon ball got destroyed right off the bat. Nice shot that as well. Multiple players. Okay, that shot that does end up damaging the lockdown a little bit, but it's not enough to get it. Unless you have Rafa with a couple of satchels or paint shells, that lockdown going through. With 3 seconds remaining, that's not just gonna happen. Knight Rider dashes away. Nice one has to create some space towards defenders. Fall, but just utility getting the better of Bond. And Knight Rider gets a kill with the Sheriff. Oh my god, a complete demolition here from Post 1. Lockdown committed, no problem. Still able to hold on to the site, and that is a masterclass on how to do things. And once again, the timeout is called, but it's 8 rounds in. I mean, 6-2 in the favor of Reckoning. I mean, sorry, in the favor of Force 1. Reckoning might have just been a little bit too late with this one.
True. Is it just me, or have I not seen a singular cosmic divide come out so far? Is it just me?
No, it's not just you. I mean, the ultimate has been up on Scargo for quite a while now, but he just hasn't popped it yet.
Neither has Panzer. That's the thing. I don't. Okay, Scargod,
Panzer
it's
just
fine.
hasn't been fragging out all that well. So.
True, but that's the thing. Like, you kind of play Astra as like a passive player. You can play aggressively with Astra too, but that's a really, really tall task. It's really hard to pull off. And if you are good with that, honestly, you have all my respect. And it's such a hard thing to pull off that it's fine if you're not going to be going in for it. Panzer is not being able to put it off. It's fine. And he's trying to manage it in the fragging department, and that's not what he's supposed to be focusing on. He's supposed to be focusing on the smokes, to get those takes, to get those round entries, to get those side entries, and I don't see a lot of that happening at all.
Absolutely. I mean, it can be a little bit difficult to do that at times, but hey, desperate times, they call it desperate measures.
Yeah.
This time around, we might see that Cosmic Divide being popped from the defense, that is. I don't think he commit. Oh no, wait, they actually have a buy on the side of Reckoning, so they could potentially pop their Cosmic Divide as well and try and make something happen. But
Exactly.
their approaches to just controlling the area, they have been very straightforward. Look at that, they smoke off Catwalk. They make their way towards mid, which is also smoked off, by the way. Scargon's gonna get spammed into Oblivion and is just gonna try to run away. Still barely alive, and Panzer finds Knight Rider. Well, that's gonna give them a chance that they need to try and get some control over this A site, but not all that much really, because they've all pushed out towards A lobby. So you can see Scargod as well as Rafa in that position. Just Juven scouting things out towards Gardens there. Doesn't really see anyone just yet. They've made their way towards B, and somehow they managed to find RVK. They peek out towards A lobby and clean up Panzer, making it a 3v4, but it's still not all that good. Shitty, what the hell are you doing? Oh boy, just pressing W in front of the hot hands there. I'm pretty sure that was a misclick. I don't think he intended to do that. Clean up very easily.
One enemy remaining.
Juven just catches them off guard with the oldest trick in the book. Hide in the corner near pizza, wait for them to cross. Rafa alone, that's not it. Spots him out, prompts him to just press W. He gets cleaned up. 6-3 in favor of Reckoning. Good timeout call by them and gives them some momentum back.
Yeah.
But look over at the Force 1 economy. They have all the money in the world to work with.
Exactly, but now since Reckoning have changed up the strategies a little bit, they're playing it a little more safer. They're taking control bit by bit, part by part. They're putting up their smokes, which I'm loving, by the way. I'm finally seeing a lot of smokes coming in, and that is honestly working out for them. And that mid take was a really good take for them. I feel like they're gonna go like why fix what ain't broke, right? I feel like they're gonna be going in for the same strategy, probably hitting B, but like split up in execution, and hopefully it works out for them yet again.
I mean, Knight Rider has not picked up the op right away. Look at that. He's actually, you know, picked up the op just now, just a little while earlier. When he had that, he died with that Vandal in his hands. And RVK playing a little bit aggressively, trying to spot them out, but JS punishes this time around. Shitty gets a kill with the shock dart, but gets cleaned up, and now it's all down to Knight Rider getting forced off that position with the Nano Swarm speaking into towards side, but Triss is gonna be there to get that kill, and that operator is conceded over to the side of Reckoning. Rafa's gonna try to make something happen, but he's not really in a good spot to try and do anything as he's been smoked off. It's gonna be holding and waiting for backup to arrive. Could also go in for the save, but not be too bad. Their money, not all that good. Gargot might just cast fans and napping. There you go. That's 3 kills that they found. And well, Rafa tries to make something happen with the satchels, but can't do all that much. You've got 4,000 creds on Scargod, so you really don't mind taking this weapon into the next round, dropping it over for a friend, and picking up a new one for yourself. But I don't know.
Blocking vision.
Could be could just be him trying to go for some exits. Yeah, he's just gonna hold on to this weapon. I mean, that's all he's looking to do.
And he's just trying to distract them by putting those stars up. That's That's the best, honestly, plan of action right now. But I really feel bad for the Cosmic Divide. I'm pretty sure it's feeling super lonely because nobody's been using it at all. At all. It's been on for so long on both of these Astra players, and I haven't seen it being used even once. Okay, Scargod has a good positioning, but if somebody were to push him, he will be able to get one kill, but there's not enough time for that to happen. So he's just safe right now. And Triss trying to spam out that box, trying to not take a chance at all. Good choice, good call over there. Good score too, 6-4. They finally made it back. Their momentum is coming back a bit, little by little, and I'm not really sure how Force One are going to be recovering from this, but they really, I'm not really sure what they have to change, but I'm pretty sure they're not either, because Reckoning suddenly out of nowhere, they're using way many more utilities. They're going in as a unit, they're going in as a team. The only thing that I have a qualm with is Panzer not going in along with the team. Yes, you can have one player as alert, but this definitely shouldn't be the Astra. And you should be there along with your team, not fragging, but seeing what's happening and setting up those smokes for your teammates. You should be that pillar for your teams to stand up on and get those kills. You shouldn't be the killer yourself. But I see Panzer lurking way too many times unnecessarily.
Yeah, not too sure if that is something that has been pre-decided or if that's just something that is happening out of the blue. But this round is a rather important one for both sides. I mean, this round basically determines if the side of Force One can still have a buy going into the next. Considering their loss bonus, they probably will be able to buy because you know, they're gonna get that extra money. It's just gonna be light shields for them, but I'm not sure if that's enough. RVK was off the server for, or rather was AFK for a little bit, but he's back now. And you'll see what impact he can have. He's definitely been a bit too aggressive for his own good so far. Has been picked off quite a lot of times. Might just prompt him to play a little bit more defensively, but this time around, he's gone for a rather very aggressive setup. That turret directly watching over B main, trying to catch anyone crossing towards the boxes to get the orb. Look at the setup coming in. They've put the Phoenix as well as the Sova towards A lobby here, Reckoning, and the rest of their players are just going to be holding out towards B, trying to punish any aggressive info plays coming in from the side of Force One that they like to do.
Yeah, true that. And on top of that, Scargod is also not having the best of times. He's bottom fragging with 5 kills. I mean, kills don't matter, but the smokes are exactly what matters, and he's managing to pull that off. That's a Cosmic Divide that I'm a little bit peeved about, but let's see if that works out. But speaking of working out, Juven, he's become a little confident, and he's pulled off that Hunter's Fury to get a little bit of information, a little bit of damage at least, but none of that is going to be coming through. Bondef on that aggressive push, he's popped his ultimate, he's popped his run it back, and Rafa with that trigger control, with that trigger discipline yet again, lets Phoenix pass right through. The information has been given out, but it's good for Bondef that he's not pushing in spite of having what little information that he's managed to seek out from A main. Instead, it's going to be a proper B push coming from Reckoning, and that's a really good bamboozle for Force One over there, and not something that we were expecting. And the smokes are just there at the right place. Panzer's coming through finally, and it's going to be an easy take for them. The spike is going to be planted any point right now. They're just clearing out the corners, and the retake scenario has to be set up for the side of Force One. But it's fascinating how there's no kill. And speaking of kills, Knight Rider gets one just as I was saying it. RVK caught sleeping a little bit, tries to get a kill, thinks that he's down, stops pushing, but he still managed to get the kill, but he's going to be going down and paying heavy price for that. Knight Rider picks up yet another kill on Bondef, 2k on him, and the defenders, they're looking super strong right now. Honestly, this was a really good execute coming out from Reckoning, but I'm not really sure what went wrong there, but it all went wrong super fast, Floki.
Absolutely. I mean, they were a little bit slow with the plan there. Knight Rider got that very crucial pick. The Cosmic Divide came through for the back of B, and all of a sudden the round just fell apart. Well, this was an important round for the side of Force One, and they did manage to win it, so it means that they're going to keep their weaponry up and running. And over on the side of Reckoning, I think they have just enough to scrape together a buy. Yeah, they do. Full shields, full utility, and they have got rifles to work with.
Which
Two
is
ultimates online. They got the Blade Storm as well as the Cosmic Divide, which, by the way, Panzer still hasn't popped ever since he's gotten it since the start of the half, but it's okay. Maybe this time around we're actually going to see it.
Hopefully, he's probably saving it for the last round. It's just like that last hurrah, just that one last ditch effort, and it might pay off for him. But I hope he actually uses it. Otherwise, we're never gonna see that Cosmic Divide coming out, even on the second half, until he remembers it. But look at this, Knight Rider has already spotted out Triss. He could have taken the shot. I think he could have done a lot of damage over there just with that hand shot. But yeah, finally, thank you.
Wants him out. Knight Rider's gonna get the second one as well. James is getting caught off guard. Bonded.
Oh.
All lines up two, gets those 2 kills, gives them an opening towards Gardens, but it's still a 3v3. And Chibi waiting near window. Gets one up upon him. Is quicker. He's managed to find that kill. Just 2 points away from his ultimate and has the blaze wall. It's gonna buy them enough time to get this plant going. And there's the cosmic divide that you were waiting for. But look at that, the lockdown. It is available on RVK, and RVK. Here's the Lurk Master. Is gonna spot out Juven and clean him up with the Phantom as Knight Rider. As an operator in his hands, can only really make it work from that heaven position, so will make his way there. And RVK knows that lockdown on the ground, slaps it there.
One enemy remaining.
Is only gonna leave them in one spot. RVK actually managed to find Bondef as well. Panzer spots him out, 33 HP. He's gonna be able to destroy the lockdown and Knight there to get the kill. Oh boy, and look at that disrespect. Just putting all those knives into his corpse, desecrating his body. 8-4 for the side of Force One as they clean up shop on Ascent.
Yep. So close yet so far for Reckoning Esports, because they're managing to put off a really good effort, but it's just lacking towards the end a little bit. Like in the beginning, I was seeing them being a little bit confused. They got the first 2 rounds, and then eventually they picked up the pace yet again. And once Force One was getting their rounds back, Reckoning was like, you know what, we figured out a plan of action for the executes, which was good. They did get the executes down. They are going into side. They're getting their plans in, but the timing is a little bit off. Their retakes, the hold down of the side is a little bit off, and the synchronization is a little bit off. So yes, with your executes, you can get control of the side, but you have to maintain control of the side, which Reckoning was not being able to do. But hopefully it's going to be a different story, a different scenario on the defense, where they don't have to think that much about the hold back, but more about the retakes. And I feel they could make more of a difference on the defense here, Floki. What do you think?
Pretty good. I mean, you've got yourself a lineup that is fairly strong on defense. You've got the Astra, you've got the Killjoy. So it's really good for finding out information, and that Phoenix functions wonderfully for those retakes. When you have that run it back up and running, it just feels so good going into that retake, all that free information. All those free looks. So actually spots out Knight Rider, who's just not looking in the right direction and gets cleaned up. And JN, looking to capitalize on that opportunity, is speaking out, but the spike is nowhere to be seen. No one else over here towards A main, and he's gonna get that info soon as he pushes out towards the lobby. Doesn't see anyone there. The owl coming in from A Gardens, they know exactly what's happening here right now, Reckoning. But there has been some presence shown towards B as well.
Oh no.
Use a 2-2 split. Oh, what the hell? Rafa, despite getting moved around by the gravity well, is gonna find that.
No.
He's gonna be feeling so robbed of that one.
Okay.
With
Floki.
that Jimmy, close range, gets the kill with the classic. 4-3 situation now for the side of Force One, and they have the option to try and go towards A instead, where Rafa has made his way in there and is holding out Heaven. Spike's probably going to be planted there while RVK continues lurking. You can see Skargod making his way from A Gardens. Might just spot out Bondef there. You can see Rafa getting in a good enough position, could clean him up, and RVK finds Trish. Shivvy's going to be there, gets the timing on Bondef. The Spike's going to go down. Round is done and dusted. It's all down to Juven, and he's gonna get knifed. No! Gets it the second time around as Rafa. Insult to injury, salt in the wounds. You name it, he's done it.
Yep. I'm pretty sure it was picking up the slack for RVK, and RVK must have told Rafa, yeah, you can get the kill with your gun, but you know what? I couldn't get the knife in the last map. Can you please get it for me right now? And honestly, Rafa was more than happy to oblige, and he got it. But about that thing that happened with that gravity well, more than what the hell, Rafa, what the hell, Panzer, what happened to him? He tried, but that frenzy just didn't work out for him, and that cost him his life, and that also cost him the first round of the second half, and Spectres all around on Force One, and Spectres on Force One with classics in the hand of Reckoning is not good news at all, and I feel like this round 2 is going to be going out to the side of Force One. But off the bat, they're going to be playing it a little more passive, and they're not honestly risking it at all.
Okay.
Force One, they're just like respecting Reckoning at this point, but JN, he has no concern for that respect. He has a shorty in hand, and he knows that he has to get up close and personal to get those kills, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. Knight Rider has a Vandal in his hand, and that's going to be risky, but JN times it right, dashes in, gets that kill on RVK, and he's going to be getting an upgrade for himself, and that might have been a really crucial kill, because no proper take has been coming out from the side of the attackers yet, and there has already gone, kill has already gone out, and a gun upgrade. Hands are over here, catches Skargod sleeping, and that is going to be advantageous to Reckoning Esports. JN picks up yet another kill for himself, and it's an entire bloodbath where Force One, they're just not looking at the right place at the right time. They're just getting picked off one by one. They've even picked up a Phantom for themselves, Floki. And that is very, very bad news. And that was a risky buy coming out for the side of Force One. And that did not work out for them at all. Unless they do manage to get the round out. But it's not working out for them. Chibi picks up yet another kill for himself. 2v2 situation. It's still possible. They're trying. Rafa picks up 1 kill. And it's just 1 more remaining. And it's all up to JN to get the kill. But he's not going to be able to do it. Or is he? Gets 1 kill. Tries to get a second. But the spray doesn't land. Because Rafa is there with the Spectre to get that kill and the Phantom for himself, Loki.
Well,
Ooh, that was
definitely a costly second round coming in Force One, right? Even though they get the spike plant, even though they're able to...
yeah.
This one's really gonna hurt their economy. I mean, look over to their money. It's not all that great. You know, Scargod, I think he has enough to buy himself light shields and a rifle, but then he's gonna be running low on smokes. And as an Astra, you want to get as many stars as possible. You can see he's prioritizing that. He's gonna buy up all the stars. RVK, on the other hand, is going to be playing on that Sheriff. And this round, economically, it's in favor of the side of Reckoning. They have a much better chance. Having the operator up and running so early can definitely make a huge difference. But JN, he has been smoked off. There's just one player lurking in towards mid, and that's going to be Scargod. Everyone else perched up outside A main, and the Shivy takes the
Blocking vision.
And just before we get into the round, it's a 10-4 scorecard in Force One. They've gotten their momentum back up again, and they're just finding it better on the attack side. And that's good for them, because Reckoning Esports are not being able to push them back at all. They're just being bamboozled by Force One every time. And it looks to me like it's going to be an A push coming in from the side of Force One Esports, except for Scargod, who's coming in with a flank from Druidum. He might be able to get at least a few kills for himself, but if the timing is wrong, Reckoning Esports, that first kill might be good enough for them to capitalize on. Here's the thing, Floki. Every time they get the first kill, it's always a really crucial kill, but they don't come up with the follow through, and they always fall short because of that.
Yeah, well, this time around, they are in a good spot to make a difference. So much tension. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. They have no information towards B. And they pretty much decided that this A main is the area that they are going to hit. They were waiting for that recon dart. So all comes through as well to catch out JN. JN does not get shot, but Bondev is going to find Knight Rider. Scargod comes in from the flank, shuts down Bondev. That's the opening they were waiting for. Panther still towards hell, though, is shutting them down. Scargod's going to get the return kill, and JN, ineffective with that operator, will finally get a pick to start things off here, leaving Shivy in a 1v3. No time remaining for him. Shivy is going to need a Trivy, and at this point, he's just getting surrounded left and right. 6 seconds remaining, and JN styles on him with the kill through the wall. The operator finds it for him. That's it. This round done and dusted. As Force One now, sort of making Reckoning's mistake that we were pointing out earlier. Quain, you said that they were waiting too long, Reckoning, and this time around, it's Force One who does that.
Absolutely. Like, they had the right idea in mind, but I'm not really sure why they waited it out for so long. They were probably waiting for Scargod to clear mid out and like carefully push up through to 3 room, but that should have been done a little quicker, because if you're going to be a little late on the pushes coming in, you are going to have either of two things. You're going to either give out enough information to your opponents telling you that it's still like one loud signal telling you that you're in a lobby, or you're going to be pincered by the team. But look at this, JN peeks out mid to battle it out, but he gets 2 beautiful kills with 1 amazing bullet from that operator. Lucked out on that one, kinda, and his aim obviously is going to be standing true. But that does mean that this round is most probably going to be going to Reckoning. Still don't want to curse it so far, because the economy in the hands of Force One is not that great. And this is most probably going to be a round going over to the side of Reckoning Esports, but it all depends. But no, Shivy! He's just going to stand in the face of adversity, and the name of adversity in this case is JN with that operator, and he's just going to be tapping that head clean with a lowly Sheriff. And he's going to be proceeding with his buddy RVK to clutch out the round. Maybe it's a 2v4 with not a lot of guns. And they could honestly have taken mid to get those guns for themselves, but no, they're not risking that push either. Giving out locations, Floki, and they have to make their move again. Yet again, they're taking too much time. They still have the spike in their possession, and they can pick up a few guns from here and there. But that's about all they can do. But they're taking way too much time. They're going to come in with a pincer with the RPK pushing in from A main, but Panzer's going to be taking care of that. Chibi tried to get a kill, gets another one tap on him, gets a third on Panzer, and he's on a roll. And he's looking to win this out. He has 32 HP, not a lot to work around with, but he does have a gun. He has a spike. He's going to be putting in for the plant, but oh no, that stoppage at that wrong moment was enough to cost him his life, and now he's not going to be able to do anything. Because Joven is going to be capitalizing on that low HP, coming in, flying in, as a matter of fact, with that classic, right tapping him out of existence and putting the 6th round up onto the board. But before I hand it over to you, Floki, that was a really good round by Reckoning, and they shouldn't have given away as much life as they did. Like, JN got 2 kills with 1 bullet, and they got a few more kills here and there, but still, in the face of that, Shivy stood up strong with his Sheriff, and he gets 3 kills and puts that damage, puts that hurt to Reckoning Esports.
That should not have happened. JN
No.
missing that shot. Oh boy, it costed them. Shivy got a 3v. In the end, he can't really win the round out, but he's done so much economic damage, right? That's so many weapons he's gonna have to pick up again. It's making sure the economy doesn't snowball out of control. As I see Bond with the Spectre in his hands, that's a run it back at the ready. No Blaze Wall, so the money not looking all that good. Knight Rider passively operator towards B. Rather passively operating, should I say, as he picks off JN. That's the biggest threat taken off the board here. And no Sage means no resurrection. There's no way you can bring her back into the round. It's going to be a 4v5 here for the side of Reckoning. But they've got 3 players towards A. They have a read on this. There's a lot of Killjoy utility towards B to try and hold them out. And Alarm Bot towards mid. So that means they have an opportunity to try and make something happen here. And look at that. The Astral Divide comes through. Rather, the Cosmic Divide. It's going to enable them to prevent them from pushing in just yet. Bondef using his ult to just bot out as many players as he can. Takes out the Alarm Bot as well with his ult. And that's a lot of utility being taken off the bat here from the side of Reckoning. They force a Boom Bot. They get the Alarm Bot as well. Stars used. So good, but look at that Shivy. Readies his ultimate up. Rafa has his ultimate, but doesn't really find anything on the back. But Panther just walking around, lurking around, is going to be able to find 2 kills. Still not on that position just yet. Stargod, though, will clean him up with dead HP remaining. A 3v2 now, but barely. Bondef, not a lot of HP to work with. Nice shot done, but it's just off the mark. Look at that, not buy them a lot of time, and Knight Rider picks up Bondef, leaving Juven in a very uncomfortable 1v3. Could just look to go for the save. The money, not the greatest in the world here for the side of Reckoning. Juven might just be going in for it. I think he was hurt there. Knight Rider is watching that angle, but Juven somehow gets the kill through the wall. A doable 1v2 for him. The recon one spot out his position. He's just against a singular Scargod, who's still alive for the time being. Scargod gives away his position. He is very low and he knows it. Juven knows it, but it doesn't matter. Scargod challenges Juven a little bit earlier and gets that kill. Oh boy, and Shivy with the NS in all chat, just letting him know that that clutch at him was really, really good, but it still doesn't win them the round.
My heart is in my hand right now, Floki, because I was honestly rooting for Juven in that particular round, because that clutch would have been insane. Because in spite of the odds, in spite of an operator facing him down, scoped in already, he still gets a kill, proceeds to get a second just by a pixel, and he tries to go in for the third. It's down to 4 bullets, and he plays it smart. He's like, yeah, there's a gun on the ground, I'm gonna be picking it up. But the luck, the bad luck that he had, that it was also at 0 bullets, was just indescribable, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, unfortunately for him, he does end up losing out on that round. Somehow they still have enough money for another operator on Knight Rider, but 2 of the players are playing Spectres, that is Rafa, as well as Shivy. But that doesn't matter. The shells pulls him off, and Knight Rider gets the pick. 4v5 now as... Oh, Triss, I think he took some damage on from that shock dart. Be a little bit low. Knives up towards a shot, but JN is not peeking out because there's a turret waiting for him there. Knight Rider is just also waiting for that beat push. Destroys the turret and backs off.
Yeah, that's all that's gonna matter for now, because it all depends upon how Force One is gonna be timing it. Because even in the last round, I was not that huge of a fan of their timing, because they played it out to the last second. It's kind of too uncomfortable for me, but they still managed to pull it off, because that proper push in with all of the members going into the right time was just what they needed. But here's what it matters, because Panzer is sneaked up into that crook, into that nook, I mean, tries to get a kill, does manage to get a kill, but it gets instantly traded out, so it's not going to matter that much. Because the player advantage is still on the attacker side, and that's going to be even more so because Knight Rider is going to sting with the operator. JNS put that in, and now Force One, they put in their lockdown.
Oh boy, they've faked it so hard. I mean,
yeah,
this is just Reckoning out playing themselves. They thought they were actually gonna make their way towards A, but no, they just come in towards B on the back of that lockdown, and with 8 seconds remaining on the board, they get the spike down. 3v2 situation, though, still a little bit doable, and operator up for the taking if Reckoning win the round. They need to try and take this, otherwise they're not gonna be in a good spot, and that sentry from RVK has revealed the players towards The defender spawn, and I think Triss also revealed his position with that Phantom spray down.
One
He's running in to
enemy
try and
remaining.
win this duel. RVK with the stylish one tap, looking for the second, but gets spotted out and Ewan cleans him up. He's gonna use the Hunter's Fury to try and find someone at least, but Rafa pushes him, dinks him, runs away into the shadows, and Shimmy finishes him off. A touch and go affair from the side of Force One as Reckoning. Oh boy, I think their time of Reckoning has come. Force One on match point. And I don't think Reckoning can string together a meaningful buy.
Yeah. I feel bad for Javen, honestly, at this point. Like, he had so much information being streamed to him. At the same time, his brain was cramped. He's like, okay, there's a player here, I'm going to take him down. There's a player there. Then he sees another one behind him, and he was super confused. He couldn't really have done much at that point, but still gave it his all. And honestly, his potential in clutch is undeniable. He could have gotten that round, but just the timing from the side of Force One was just precise, and they get the kill. And they're honestly shooting to kill. They're not gonna cut the Reckoning Esports any slack. And Reckoning Esports, they know that. They're trying their best, but I just feel like there's a bit of a discord here and there. They really should be fixing that, and they should be Gucci, and they should be going in with that confidence, and that confidence is exactly what I'm seeing lacking. Even on the defense, I thought they'll be getting a few more rounds. Few more rounds they did, but that's not enough to make that much of a difference against Force One, because they're already up to 12 points on the scorecards, and 12-6 and match point already in play. The desperation that we saw in the last map is going to be coming out now. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of pushes in at unnecessary places. I really hope that they're not going to be doing that, but from the looks of things, Panzer has already picked up that judge, and I'm already like expecting a push coming out from Panzer.
I mean, this is just desperation, right? Coming in from Reckoning.
Yeah.
They've been in this spot for 2 games straight in a row. You know, they were able to stabilize a little bit when they were on offense, but their defense is just crumbling. I mean, they've gotten 2 rounds overall in this defensive half. So, yeah, they've been in a bit of a rough spot.
And there's no denying that. So the pause is still going to be there. They're still trying to calculate what's gone wrong. They're still trying to understand how they can make a comeback, and that's going to be a miraculous comeback if at all they're going to be pulling that off. 12-6, 6 rounds they have to get consecutively. It's still possible, but it's going to be miraculous. I've seen that happening. I've seen 11, I think I've told this to you before, I've seen 11-3 going into a 12-12 before. I mean, sorry, a 13-12 before, and that is really a hard task and amazing to watch whenever it happens, but I'm not really sure if Reckoning can pull it off this time. Off the bat, Jane takes a little bit of damage because of the pain shells coming in, but quick of him to up trap at the right time to reduce the damage that he could have possibly taken in.
Enemy mark.
Juven getting all the information that he can, gets 1 player, but little does he know that the entirety of Force One is holed up in B lobby, into B link over there, and that push is coming in, the smoke is coming at the right time. Scar God coming clutch for his teammates. All depends upon who's going to get the information first, and I don't think that Reckoning is going to be getting it right now, Floki. It's going to be Force One getting the information, pushing in, and getting the kills for themselves, and I feel like this might just be game over.
Yeah, well, so far they have spotted out Knight right on the side of Force One, so they are aware where that operator could be in play. But surprise, surprise, there's no operator on him. Just a fan. This time around, goes around the smoke and spots out Trist. Trist gets cleaned up, and that's the opening pick that they need. And there's another player in there, and he's found him. June has been taken out as well. A lot of space being traded towards B, and you can see Scargod hightailing it towards the B side. Knight Rider's found bottom as well. Jen's gonna get cleaned up by
30
Rafa
seconds
Panzer.
left.
In a judge. With a judge, rather. In a 1v5.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is
I'm
this is
hyped.
gonna be God's own clutch. I mean, if he manages to get this one out, I hope they better give him a strategy boost. But RVK
Attackers
with the
win.
Sheriff is gonna be able to find it as Force One.
Get out of
2-0 will be able to eliminate the side of Reckoning from the playoffs over here as they move on to the lower bracket finals. Boy,
Indeed.
Reckoning Esports, they did very well to get this far, but you know, I mean, they are known as the kings of the lower bracket for some reason, Force One, and that's because every single time they have made it to that lower bracket finals. Well, it's going to be a little bit hard for them to swallow given how these matches went, especially Breeze. They're going to have to work a lot harder on the way they play this one out. But hey, practice makes perfect. And if anything, I think Reckoning have shown that they're not to be underestimated coming in in Season 3. But that said, though, let's jump into the match highlights and see exactly what went wrong for the side of Reckoning Esports. Because Force One, they really did a number on them. Gonna take a little bit of time before we jump into that, actually. But Yeah, I have to say, Bondev, he did a lot of work for the side of Reckoning. It's definitely it wasn't his agent that was the issue there, but I'm not too sure what the issue was entirely. Maybe this replay can help us out in figuring that out.
Exactly. And Bondev, he was on the right track, but I don't think there was enough support from his teammates. And it's not because they didn't want to, it's because everybody was playing a little more individually than I would prefer them to. And I just feel like the team of Reckoning is it's a new one. They're finding their footing. They have to get that coordination in. They have to get their teamwork, their spirits up. Otherwise, it's not going to be working out for them at all. They're going to be able to frag out individually. They're going to be able to make it to the end of every tournament, but it's just not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough to cut it. It's not going to be enough for them to go into the finals and win it out. They have to get that synchronization in, and that is really important in a game like Valorant, because where teamwork matters a lot, and you see exactly that in the hands of Force One. They're amazing as a team. They know exactly what everybody's thinking about, and they don't even have to tell each other what to do. They're just going at it. They know where their teammates are. They're aware of their surroundings, and that is exactly what sets them apart. That's exactly why we know them as a force called Force One. That's exactly why they're winning out the lower brackets, and they're going to be going off and facing off against a player against a team who's going to be winning out against the upper brackets. The only thing that I feel like Reckoning Esports should be working on is the synchronization. Otherwise, they've got their individual skills, they've got their aims down, they've got their game sense. It's just the timing that is off a little bit, man.
Reckoning, you nailed that one on the head. It's just that sense of timing is just a little bit off.
Yeah.
Force One, they really caught them off guard with that one, and I think in a lot of rounds, Reckoning just sort of outplayed themselves, right? They overthought. They were like, okay, well, Force One going to do this, they were going to do that, and that results from trying to counter your opponents. If you have a concrete strategy of your own, you really don't have to adapt to what the opponent is doing. I can understand sometimes making adjustments as and when needed and
Yeah.
trying to make sure that your defense holds up against whatever they're trying to do when they're on the offense. But sometimes, just thinking all about the enemy and not having any sort of plan set in stone earlier, not having a plan A, only having, a reactive plan can
Yeah.
really end up hurting you. And that's
Mm.
just seen to what happened to Reckoning. I
Yeah.
mean, the start was pretty good. It was pretty close. But then towards the end, when that scoreline was, I believe, 7-3, Force One really managed to catch them off guard. Yeah, I mean, they won those 2 rounds. They made it 8-4, and ever since then, Reckoning, they were just swimming against the tide. Not much they could have done there.
True. And on top of that, towards the end, when Force One realized that they're getting their momentum up, they just started to seem to have started having lot more fun with it. And we even saw Rafa going in and getting that knife kill. It's not like Reckoning Esports don't have the potential. Like, look at that swing, that 90-degree swing to look back and get that kill is not an easy task. And this aim on JN is not easy at all. But he has it, and Bondev has it, and I'm very sure that I know, not even very sure, I know for a fact that everybody in the team of Reckoning has what it takes, and it's just that Discord that is the problem. But I gotta give it to Force On, man. Kudos to them, because they've just put up such a great show, and they're just like these arms of a huge organism, and it's just they're at the right place at the right time, and they're getting the information off of each other through this neural network that they have. Yeah, no callback to Cypher over there. It's not neural stuff, but yeah, they're amazing as a team, and that's what makes them stand out.
Yeah, and I mean, Force One, I'm really excited to see what they're able to pull off this time around. They are going to be in that lower bracket finals, going up against the loser of EXO versus Velocity. It should be a really fun one for them. They've been looking to prove themselves for a long time now.
True.
And before we move on to the brackets, let's have a look at Scoreboard. This time around, Shivy, yeah, he went a little berserk, didn't he? I mean, a lot of rounds where he single-handedly clutched it out for his team and really made the eco, or rather the rounds that the side of Reckoning should have had for free hurt. And I think that's going to be the big takeaway for Reckoning. It's just that the way Shivy managed to hurt their economy and everyone else on the side of Force One too, just making sure that they don't take a lot of weapons into the next round, is something that they are, probably going to be trying to mitigate going forward here. But overall, great performance coming in from the side of Force One. You can see Knight Rider doing a lot of work along with Shivy. 19 kills to Knight Rider, 22 on Shivy, 15 for Rafa. And Aviki and Scargod, just doing their bit in their team, where every single frag they have was an impact frag. And I remember Scargod just clutching a single round out with 5 HP, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
no way on earth that should have happened. But then again, Reckoning, well, Bondev saw an opportunity and he took it. That's all I have to say. And that's why he's the MVP for the side of Reckoning. Everyone else just struggling a little bit in this game.
And I'm surprised Panzer came with 14 kills. Like I was seeing him struggling really hard, really a lot in the first half of the entire game, where he was not being able to put up the smokes, he was not being able to put up the cosmic divide. I did not see it happen at all until until the last round of the first half, where he was like, you know what? Okay, fine, I have it. Might as well put it out there on the field. It worked out for them a little bit, but I don't think they won that round. No, they didn't. It was an 8-4. But that's the thing. He did pick it up towards the latter half. They did a little better on the defensive side of things, but that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to keep it balanced out. You're supposed to be good at both sides. You're supposed to be adapting to whatever defense strategy, or I mean your defense or attack strategy, what have you, of your opponents. But Reckoning Esports, they're just playing a little too much individually, and that individuality, as good as that can be for your aim and your game sense, that's not something that you want in your team play. You use that to get yourself up there, to get your experience in, but once you get that experience in, you got to get your experience as a team player together as well.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, you need to integrate yourself into the team. Otherwise, all that individual skill, it just doesn't mean anything at all.
True.
But, with that out of the way, let's have a look at the brackets and see how this is going to affect the rest of the tournament as we see what is going to happen to the side of Force One, because I think they advanced to the lower bracket finals. And, yep, he'll be playing against loser of Velocity EXO. As, the playoffs are starting to draw to a close here.
Yeah.
Just one upper bracket match remaining, and then we're going to be moving on to the lower bracket finals, followed by the grand finals itself. Velocity looking to take a double victory here. Take 2 trophies back home in the Gauntlet. They won the first season, but can they win it the second time around? Well, they're going to be having EXO standing in their way, and if they lose out to EXO, get another chance by trying to beat out Force One and making their way back into the grand finals. Which way is it going to? We don't really know, and you want to make sure that you stick around for this match, because it's not going to be that long for that one's live too. We go live with Velocity versus EXO at 8 p.m. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell icon as well, so you know whenever we're going live. Make sure to check out our sponsors in the description down below. LG Ultragear can fix you up with new screens. You got WD Black for some storage, and AMD Ryzen Radeon for your processing needs as well. Also the QR code if you did manage to scan it. Get yourself a Red Bull. Just make sure you enjoy the matches that you're watching as of now. And I mean, I think that's going to be it for now. That's it for this best of 3. Congratulations to Force One for making it to the lower bracket finals. Before we say our goodbyes, any final words, Quaint?
Honestly, I'm just excited for it, like how season 2 has been unfolding. Like it's been an entire roller coaster right from the beginning. Like I keep saying this, like we see so many teams come out, and we never expected the teams that actually did make a difference to make a difference. They hit really hard, and I was really proud of the entire effort they put into like building themselves up together as a team, even all the way through to the playoffs. We're just seeing the amount of like skills and the amount of effort they put into the entire thing. But that's about it. I'm loving the season so far, man.
Absolutely, I gotta agree with you there. Congratulations to every single team who's made it this far. To the ones who didn't, put up a
congratulations.
good show. Thank you for being a part of the Gauntlet Season 2. Come back for Season 3 as well. And with that out of the way, thank you viewers for tuning in. Make sure you come back in for the 8 p.m. game for EXO versus Velocity. Until then, you're watching LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radeon. See you on the other side.